Hey there, my name is Harrison Greenough. I'm a realtor in Maryland, and I'm making a video series here to help you guys figure out how to put in a really strong offer and, in general, what the offer contains, and explain each document so that you fully understand it before you sign those documents, and to help, for example, buyers and sellers that are working without an agent to understand them, because ultimately, although I am a real estate agent and I write these contracts every day, I want you guys to have the ability to understand them even if you aren't using an agent. So look through our videos, rewind them, replay them, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me directly. Thanks, and let's get started. If you're purchasing a homeowners association property, it has an HOA, you need to include two documents as a seller, and a buyer needs to be aware that if you're purchasing this type of property, these two documents must be included by the seller. If it's a condominium, there are two other documents that need to be included rather than this. Typically, it's either a homeowners association or a condominium association, and each have their own two respective documents. So the first of these two is the Notice to Buyer, the Maryland Homeowners Association Act, a notice to buyer for a resale of a lot within a development of any size, or for initial sale of a lot within a development containing 12 or fewer lots. On the document, you have the buyer's and seller's names and the property, which is going to be addressed here. The following notice applies to members of the public who intend to occupy or rent a lot for residential purposes. Under the Act, lot means any plot or parcel of land which is a dwelling located or will be located within a development. This requires that the seller disclose to you a statement of whether or not the property is located in the development, so they have to actually disclose that it is part of an HOA, what the fees are. Item 1 here, we have the current monthly fees and assessments imposed. Item 2, the total amount of fees, assessments, and other charges imposed by the Homeowners Association. And 3, a statement of whether any fees or assessments or charges are delinquent. Does the Homeowners Association have a lien against the current owner, and are they selling it to you with that lien still there? This is really important to know. 3, the names, addresses, phone numbers of the management association. So basically, who maintains it? Who is the homeowners association? 4, a statement to whether or not the owner has any actual knowledge of the existence of unsatisfied judgments, pending lawsuits against the homeowners association. And 2, any pending claims, covenant violations, actions, or notices of default against the lot. 5, you have to include the Articles of Incorporation, the declaration, all recorded covenants and restrictions of the primary development. So if there are any restrictions that are applicable through the Homeowners Association to the owner, they need to be disclosed. And to the bylaws also need to be disclosed. This is very, very important. The seller must disclose these things. If you have not, as a buyer, received all of the MHAA information within 5 calendar days or more before entering into the contract, you have 5 calendar days to cancel the contract. So if the seller does not provide this information to you, you have the ability to leave the contract. It's very, very important you understand that you have that option. So sellers, you need to be sure to provide this document with all of the applicable information, which we'll go over in the second document here, that pertain to the property. It's important to understand at the end here, by purchasing a lot within this development, you will automatically be subject to various rights, responsibilities, and obligations. They may have things about what you can and cannot do. There may be commercial activity, agricultural, architectural, that type of thing, charges, occupancy, density, name, number, use of vehicles, renting, leasing. There are many different covenants that you need to be aware of that may affect you as a homeowner here. So be sure to look at them carefully, and sellers, you must provide them. The second item that needs to be included in this 2-document part of the contract here is the Maryland Homeowners Association Act disclosures to buyer and transmittal of documents. This is where the seller actually explains what the fees are, what the issues are, what the Homeowners Association name is, where it is, what the number is, the address, etc., etc. So this is pretty self-explanatory. You have one where the lot is subject to the contract of sale, within which development, the current monthly fees, usually payable on a monthly or quarterly basis, sometimes annually, the total fees and charges that were put upon the property in the prior fiscal year. 3, the fees, assessments, or other charges imposed by the Homeowners Association against the lot. Are they delinquent? Because if they are, the seller is responsible for them. Item 3 here, seller to initial 1 or 2 and complete as appropriate. So this is where you get the name, the address, the telephone number of the actual community. 4, seller to initial 1 or 2. Seller has actual knowledge of A, the existence of any unsatisfied judgments, B, any pending claims, covenant violations, etc. So the buyer needs to be made aware of any types of issues with the homeowners association. Or then 3, the seller has no actual knowledge. 5, 1, Attached are copies of the following documents. So you need to include the Articles of Incorporation, the Declaration of Covenants and Restrictions, all recorded covenants and restrictions of primary developments and other related developments to the extent reasonably available. So what you can find, you need to provide. And then finally, the bylaws and the rules of the primary development. Item 2 here is the obligations contained in the attached copies of documents. The seller needs to put, is it enforceable against the owner or is it enforceable against the owner's tenants? And then the seller hereby acknowledges and the buyer hereby acknowledges and signs at the bottom. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions or you would like to talk about potentially buying or selling a property, please feel free to contact me. My information is below and I would love to reach out to you and talk. So feel free to contact me and have a great rest of your day.